In this video, I'll be discussing the questions that have come from Lambert-Beard's law. It's a very small but a very fundamental topic, an important topic because questions have come regularly from this topic, such that it came in December 2019 net and in the GATE 2020 also. So before we directly jump to the question, let's take 3 to 4 minutes understanding what Lambert-Beard law says, some of the very important points you must remember while solving the questions. That will be very helpful for you when we solve the questions. So let's start with what Lambert-Beard's law says. So the Lambert's law says that the rate of change of intensity with respect to thickness. So that means when some amount of radiation is incident on a species which has the ability to absorb light, so the change in intensity of the light after absorption with respect to the before absorption, with respect to the distance or the thickness of the light absorbing species is directly proportional to the intensity of the radiation. So that means Lambert law says that minus di by dx is directly proportional to I. Now I is intensity, x is the thickness. Say suppose you have this container in which there is some species which can absorb light, and this is the incident radiation and this is the transmitted radiation. So some amount of intensity is absorbed. So the difference between these two with respect to the length of the light absorbing species is directly proportional to the intensity of the incident radiation. Now there is a negative sign because there is a decrease. So this is what Lambert's law says. And what does Beard's law says? The Beard's law says that this rate of change of intensity with respect to distance is directly proportional to the concentration of the species which is present. So Beard's law says minus di by dx is directly proportional to concentration. So Lambert-Beard's law means combination of the both. So you would get minus di by dx proportional to I into C. Let's say I am putting the proportionality constant as K. So I get KIC. On solving this, I would get minus di by I is equals to KC dx, and let's say I am taking the minus sign here and then I want to integrate. So I would get ln I by I naught is equals to minus KCX. Okay, let's say I want to convert it into log. I by I naught is equals to minus K by 2.303 Cx, or I by I naught is equals to 10 to the power minus K Cx by 2.303, or instead of K upon 2.303 I can write epsilon, or I will get I is equals to I naught 10 to the power minus epsilon Cx. Now if you look at this equation carefully, this is of the type of first order kinetics. Okay. Now what is epsilon? So epsilon is known as molar absorptivity coefficient. And what will be the unit of that? So this entire thing, epsilon Cx, should come out to be 1. That means it should come out to be unitless. So for epsilon, it has to be concentration inverse, distance inverse. So that is mole inverse liter, centimeter inverse. Okay. So that's the unit for epsilon, or molar absorptivity coefficient. Okay, now this is all about Lambert-Beard's law, but there should be some conditions maintained for Lambert-Beard's law to be valid. And what are those conditions? So another statement of Lambert's law says that equal proportions of the intensity of light is absorbed by layers of equal thickness of the light absorbing species. So let's say, suppose you have one layer of the species and say intensity from 100%, 10% get absorbed, so you get 90%. Now instead of one, if I place two consecutive layers, and again 100% intensity of radiation is incident, so what would you expect? 10%, 10%, 80%. But if you are saying that you will get 80% of the light transmitted after absorption, this is wrong. Why this is wrong? So this first layer will absorb 10% and give 90%. The second layer will absorb 10% of this. That means it will absorb 9% and I will get 81% of the light after absorption from two layers. So that is why they are saying equal proportions and not equal amount. So equal proportions mean they will absorb in equal ratios or equal percentages of the transmitted light from each layer. Okay. Now these conditions will satisfy when, or Lambert-Beard's law will be valid when these four conditions are maintained. That light is monochromatic, temperature is constant, analyte or the light absorbing species or which is present inside this is dilute such that its concentration is less than 0.01 molar. And lastly, no association or dissociation among analyte molecules. Because if association dissociation is there, then the resultant concentration will change and that will cause this law to become invalid. Some fluctuations will come and the errors will be large. Okay. Now when we saw that some amount of light is incident and some amount of light is absorbed and the rest is transmitted. So we have 2-3 terms that we need to define here. So the first is transmittance. Transmittance is a measure of the light which is transmitted after absorption, and it is simply T is equals to I by I naught. I is the one which is transmitted, I naught is the one which is incident. So it's simply output by input. The next comes absorbance. Now absorbance is the measure of how much light is absorbed by this light absorbing species, and mathematically it is negative logarithm of the transmittance, or I can say minus log I by I naught. And we know from here that log of I by I naught, let's say from here I can write or let's say directly from here, log of I by I naught can be written as minus epsilon Cx if I replace this by epsilon. So I get this as equals to minus, let's say absorbance is equals to minus of minus epsilon Cx, or A is equals to epsilon Cx. And this is the most famous form of Lambert-Beard's law which we know so far. Absorbance is directly proportional. Absorbance is equals to epsilon C into X, and which we will need in order to solve the questions. Now there is one last point, very important point, that absorbance. Do I have any space? Okay. So absorbance is additive, but transmittance is multiplicative. Let's take an example to understand that. Suppose you have A is equals to minus log T, A1 is equals to minus log T1, A2 is equals to minus log T2. So if you have that A is equals to A1 plus A2, you would get minus log T is equals to minus log T1 minus log T2. So you would get minus log T is equals to minus log T1 into T2, or T is equals to T1 into T2. So transmittance is multiplicative, but absorbance is additive, and this is a very important point which you will need in order to solve the questions that have come previously. So that is all the things that you need to know about Lambert-Beard's law, absorbance, transmittance, and the properties. Now we'll start solving the questions that have come previously. Okay, so let's start with the most recent question we have, which is from GATE 2020. The question says a solution containing a metal complex absorbs at lambda 480 nanometer with molar extinction coefficient of 15,000 liter per mole per centimeter. That means that is your epsilon. Now molar absorptivity coefficient or molar extinction coefficient, they are the same. At the same time, absorbance or optical density are also the same thing. So this is given as 15,000 liter mole inverse centimeter inverse. If the path length of the cell, that means x, is given as 1 centimeter and transmittance is 20.5%, the concentration of the metal complex is, okay. So from transmittance you can get absorbance. Now this transmittance is given as percentage, so that will be converted to numerical as 0.205. How? Just divide this by 100. So you're getting this as minus log 0.205. Now using this will be equals to what? Epsilon C x. So I would get x is equals to minus log 0.205 by 15,000 liter mole inverse into 1. So this would give you an answer which should be 4.59 into 10 power 5 molar. This part is molar, it goes up. Okay. So this was given in option number C. I don't have the calculator, so I'm not solving it, but I remember this should be the answer. There was another question which came in December 2019 net, which says in spectrophlorimetric determination in solution. What are the things that need to be maintained? So they are saying absorbance of analyte solution is kept near 0.05. O2 is eradicated from the solution. pH of the solution is controlled, and the wavelength of the incident light is always above 400 nanometers. Now let's take a look at one of them one by one. So the first one is true that absorbance of analyte solution is kept near 0.05, and this is done to decrease the error. Now if the absorbance goes beyond 0.05 and from 0.05 to 0.1, there is an error because the absorbance then becomes directly proportional to the intensity of the excitation wavelength, or that means intensity of the radiation which is incident. So at that time the error increases. Now O2 has to be eradicated because O2 can interfere with the absorption that is occurring by the species. Lastly, pH of the solution is controlled. Now pH has to be controlled because if pH is changing, there is concentration of the analyte in the solution changes because of the protonation and deprotonation. So that is also has to be maintained. The one which is not required is that wavelength of incident light is always above 400 nanometer. Now which is not true. In spectrophotometry, the range of the wavelength can be from 300 to 800 nanometers. So it's not necessary that it has to be greater than 400. So the incorrect option in this case is option number D. Okay. So there was a question in GATE 2018. Now the question says the absorption maxima of two dyes X and Y are given. So there is a table given X, Y. This is 9 millimolar. This is 12 millimolar. And you are given absorbance at 460 nanometer and this is at 520 nanometer. And there is a mixture of X plus Y. So this is 0.144, 0.765, 0.912, 0.168 and finally 0.700, 0.680. So for pure X and pure Y, these are the absorbance at 460 and 520 nanometer, but for the mixture, this is the absorbance. Now they are asking the concentration of Y in the mixture. So for doing that, what we need is epsilon x, epsilon y for both these conditions. Then only we can use that to solve this the final part. So let's figure out that. So for the first one, absorbance is what? Absorbance x is equals to epsilon x Cx x. Now path length is not given, so let's consider path length is 1. So this goes, what I'm having is 0.144 is equals to epsilon x, and concentration is 9 millimolars, 9 into 10 power minus 3. So this will be 0.016 into 10 power 3 or 16. Similarly, let's find it for y. Now this is all at 460. Then we'll find it for 520 also. So that is epsilon y cy, or 0.912 is equals to epsilon y by 12 nanometer. Okay, so this should give me a value of 0.076 into 10 power 3 or 0 or simply 76. Okay, now let's for 520 nanometer. So I'm directly going for it. Epsilon x will be 0.765 by 9 into 10 power 3. Now it's in the numerator now, so this will be 0.085 or simply 85, and for y it will be 0.168 by 9 into 10 power 3, that will be 0.01, it is 0.168 by 12, sorry, 14 into 10 power 3, that means 14. Okay, now we have got this. So for the mixture, the absorbance will be what? Epsilon x for this one. So at 460 nanometer, what will I be getting? Absorbance is equals to absorbance by x. Now absorbance is an additive property plus absorbance by y. So I can write absorbance 0.7 is equals to epsilon x Cx, and path length is 1, epsilon y Cy. So that will give me 0.7 is equals to for 460 nanometer it was 16 into Cx plus this is 76 into Cy. Similarly, at 520 I would get 0.68 is equals to, then it is 85 into Cx plus 14 into Cy. Now you have two equations and two unknowns, and you know how to solve it. You can use elimination or substitution or cross multiplication, whatever, to solve these two, and you have to find the value of Cy. So it's better you eliminate Cx and then put the value of y, put that value in one of the equations and get Cy. So I'm not doing that, you can do it yourself. The answer to this should be 7.79 millimoles. Okay, so a bit of a tricky question, came for 2 marks, but it's a bit lengthy, but since you have given calculator, so you can very easily solve this question in a matter of 1 or 2 minutes. So the next question we have is from June 2018, and the question says, using a double beam UV visible spectrophotometer, Beer's law fails for K2Cr2O7 solution when intensity of the light source is changed, detector is not a photomultiplier tube, cuvette of 2 cm is used, and the pH is not kept same in all measurements. Now when the pH changes, the effective concentration of the species also changes, and at that time the Beer's law fails, which is option number D. Then there is another question from June 2015, and the question says, the intensity of a light beam decreases by 50%. Now, if 50% is decreased, that means 50% is transmitted, which is the transmittance, or 0.5. Through a sample of path length 1 centimeter. The percentage of transmission of light passing through the same sample but of 3 centimeter path length. That means you have to find the transmittance for 3 centimeter path length. Now we know minus log T1 is equals to epsilon C x1 minus log T2 is equals to epsilon C x2. If we divide the two, we would get log T2 is equals to log T1 into x2 is 3 by 1. So I would get here now log T1 or log 0.5 into 3, which is 0.301 into 3 or 0.903. T2 is 10 to the power 0.903, which would be 0.125, and in percentage it is 12.5, which is given in your option number D. There is another question from GATE 2015, and the question says the percent transmittance of 8 into 10 power minus 5 solution, 8 into 10 power minus 5 molar solution of K1O4 is 39.8. So the percentage transmittance is 39.8, so that is 0.398. When measured at 510 nanometer in a cell of path length 1 centimeter. So X is 1 centimeter. The absorbance and the molar extinction coefficient. Okay, you have to find A and epsilon. Now A is equals to minus log T minus log 0.398. You can find the answer. Now this minus log 0.398 is also equals to epsilon C x. X is 1, so I'm removing that. So epsilon is equals to log 0.398 divided by 8 into 10 power minus 5. Just find the value and you will get one of them matching with the options. Okay. So the next question we have is from June 2013. And the question says a 0.1 molar solution of compound A shows 50% transmittance. So A has transmittance 0.5, concentration is 0.1 molar. When a cell of 1 centimeter width is uses lambda 1 nanometers. Another 0.1 molar solution of compound B. So this has 0.1 molar solution, gives the optical density value. Now optical density, as I told, is absorbance 0.1761. Using 1 centimeter cell at lambda 1 nanometer. What will be the transmittance of a solution that is simultaneously 0.1 molar in A? So there is a mixture which is 0.1 molar A and 0.1 molar B. You have to find the transmittance for this. Now we know that absorbance is equals to A1 plus A2 for total absorbance. So that is minus log T1 minus log T2. Now I have absorbance for one, I can find for the other. So A for A is minus log TA or minus log 0.5, which is 0.301. If I have to get total absorbance, that will be 0.1761 plus 0.301, which is 0.4771. Now from this you can find the transmittance. Simply minus log T is equals to 0.4771 or T is equals to 10 to the power minus 0.4771, which should come out to be 0.333 or 33.3%, which is given in your option number A. Okay, so the next question we have is from December 2012. The question says appropriate reasons for the deviation from the Beer's law among the following are: monochromaticity of light, no, it was a necessary condition. Very high concentration of analyte, yes. Association of analyte, yes. And dissociation of analyte, yes. So B, C and D are the reasons for deviation, which is given in your option number B. So the next question we have is from June 2012, and there were two questions in that year from this topic. The question says using cuvettes of 0.5 centimeter path length. So x is 0.5 centimeter. A 10 to the power minus 4 molar solution. Concentration is 10 to the power minus 4 molar. Of a chromophore shows 50% transmittance. So transmittance is 0.5. At certain wavelength, the molar extinction coefficient of the chromophore at this wavelength, you have to find the molar extinction coefficient epsilon. Minus log 0.5 is equals to epsilon Cx. Now minus log 0.5, as we have seen in this case, is 0.301. So we get 0.301 by 0.5 into 10 power minus 4 is equals to epsilon. So this will give you epsilon is equals to 6020, which is given in your option number D. The next question in the same year was molar extinction coefficient of B. Epsilon is given as 4 into 10 power 3 molar inverse centimeter inverse. Molecular weight of B is given as 180. 1 liter of solution of C, which contains W is equals to 0.1358 gram of B, shows an absorbance of A is equals to 0.441. In a 1 centimeter quartz cell, the percentage of W by W percent you have to find of B in the solution C. Okay, so let's take a reverse path. So let's start from absorbance and try to find. Now absorbance is equals to epsilon Cx. So from here I can get C. X is 1. Let's remove that. Concentration is 0.441 by 4 into 10 power 3. That is 1.1025 into 10 power minus 4. Now this concentration is equals to number of moles by volume. Volume is 1 liter, so that is 1. Number of moles is what? Number of moles is weight taken by 180, which is the molecular weight. So I get W is equals to 1.1025 into 10 power minus 4 into 180. And this should be 0.45819 into 10 power minus 3 or 0.0198 gram. When I want to find weight by weight percent, so that means the weight which I have taken 0.0198 by the weight given, and I should get this as 0.146, and in percent it will be 14.60%, which is given in your option number B. The first question we have is from GATE 2003. And the question says the percentage transmittance of a transition metal complex at 360 nanometer and at 25% or 25 degrees Celsius is 25%. So transmittance is 0.25. For a 6 into 10 to the power minus 4, concentration is 6 into 10 power minus 4 molar solution, path length is 1 centimeter, you have to find molar adsorption coefficient. Simply minus log T is equals to epsilon Cx. X is 1, so that is fine. Or I would get epsilon is minus log 0.25 by 6 into 10 power minus 4. This would be minus log 0.5 square by 6 into 10 power minus 4, or 2 into 0.301. Log 0.5 is 0.301 by 6 into 10 power minus 4. So that is 1.0 into 10 power minus 3, which is, plus 3, which is given in option number B. Okay. The next question we have from GATE 2002. The question says the transmittance of an alcoholic solution of a certain compound at 500 nanometer is 1%. So that is 0.01. in a 1 centimeter cell. The absorbance is, now absorbance is what? Minus log T minus log 0.01 or minus log 10 power minus 2 into log 10, which is 2, which is given in your option number B. The next question we have is from TIFR 2012. The question says the molar extinction coefficient of compound A and B. Now A, B, molar extinction coefficient is 10 power minus 4, and for B it is 10 power plus 4, B it is 10 power 5. Concentration of A is given as 10 power minus 4, concentration of B is given as 10 power minus 5 molars. You have to find the percent of light transmitted by solution of A and B. So you have to find TA and TB and in relation to each other. Okay. So we know minus log TA is equals to epsilon A CA. X I am considering as 1 in both cases, or I can say that TA is equals to 10 power minus epsilon A CA. Or this will be 10 to the power minus 10 power minus 4 into 10 power 4 or 10 power minus 1, that is 1 by 10. Similarly, TB will be 10 power minus 10 power 5 into 2 into 10 power minus 5, 10 power minus 2, which is 1 by 10 by 2, 1 by 100. So TA by TB is 1 by 10 by 1 by 100. Or 10. So I get TA is equals to 10 times TB. So that means TA is transmitting 10 times of B, or B is transmitting 10 times less than TA, which is given in your option number B. Okay. So the last question we have is from June 2011. The question says, observe the following aqueous solutions of same compound. All the measurements are made at the same wavelength and same temperature. So you have A, B, C. A says the transmittance of 0.1 mole per decimeter cube. So the concentration is 0.1 molar. Using 1 centimeter cell is 0.5. Transmittance is 0.5. And in the question, okay, let's look at the B and C. B says optical density of 0.5. So that means absorbance is 0.5. Okay, not absorbance. The concentration of 0.5 molar is measured using 1 millimeter cell. Third is C. Transmittance of this solution is 0.1. You have to find the optical density of these in order. Okay, so that means you have to find absorbance for all. Now absorbance of A is what? Minus log 0.5, which is 0.301. Of C is what? Minus log 0.1, which is 1. Why? Minus log 10 to the power minus 1. 1 log 10 is 1. Okay. Then you have one more is B. Now for B, you don't have anything to calculate absorbance, but we are given concentration and path length. So you need is the molar absorptivity coefficient. That means epsilon, and we can find it from the first one. So absorbance was 0.301 is equals to epsilon into C into path length is given 1 centimeter. So I get epsilon is equals to 0.301 by concentration is 0.1, or I get this as 3.01. So absorbance of B is equals to 3.01 into 0.5 into 1 millimeter means 0.1 centimeter. So this would mean 0.301 into 0.5, or that means half of this, 0.1515. So now if you want to find the order, the largest is C greater than A greater than B, which is given in your option number D. So that's all the questions that we have from Lambert-Beard's law. All the questions in NET, GATE and TIFR have been covered in this particular lecture. And you can see very easy questions have come, just a little bit of tricks, a little bit of calculations, and you can get full marks in the question from this particular topic. I would suggest you go through the video as many times as needed in order to clear all your queries, all your doubts for this. If you have any queries or any doubts in any specific question, any specific topic, you can always put them down in the comments. I'll surely discuss them either in the comments or in the coming video.